How is this possible? Zhuo Fan looked at the 7 elders staring blankly, only to see that the blood infant was hanging behind the 7 elders with a melancholy. A short sliver of silver flashed straight through the blood infant's chest. Sanpin magic treasure, fish bowel. 7 elders glanced coldly at Zhuo Fan, and instantly recovered the fish intestine thorn into his elbow. Zhuo Fan also knelt on his knees, his eyes stunned. He couldn't believe it, he would lose in the end. On the other side, Xie Tianyang wanted to raise his sword to resist, but he was thrown on the chest by the yin cable, spitting out a bloodline in his mouth, and he fainted completely. Fortunately, he has a body armor, otherwise he is already dead. Boy, the old man is known as the exquisite Chichiao ghost. But how can one guess the old man's mind? You are very good, really good. On the mentality, you make the old man feel afraid. If there is another 1 or 2 decades, it must be the magic Dao Xiaoxiong. Even if the first wise man of that day, Zhuge Changfeng, it must not be your opponent. But unfortunately, there is no such opportunity. Because the old man is also afraid you will continue to grow. Let the old man have this feeling. You are the first. You died in the hands of the old man today, saying you are not losing money. At the end of the organization, we are half a catty. But the old man is stronger than you. Losing is losing, whether it is in calculation or in strength. The person who died last is lost. However, he is still not reconciled. He still has a lot of things to do. In the face of absolute strength, any calculations and means are futile. The loser has no power to do anything. Suddenly, a loud roar rang across the 10,000 Beast Mountains, and the palm of the 7 elders had just hit a centimeter above Zhuo Fan's head. Looking far away in the direction of the 3rd area, the elder 7 looked uncertain. Why does this monster come to the 2nd area? Once again, he saw Zhuo Fan, who had fallen to the ground, unconscious of the personnel, and the 7 elders gritted their teeth and flew back quickly to fly back. Even the diamond quicksand was not needed. After a while, a hissing sounded and the whole sky dimmed instantly. A strange bird flapping its huge wings flew over the whole cloud and covered the sky. The wings of the strange bird burned with blue flames, and every time it fanned, Mars must fly down. And wherever Mars touches it, it will inevitably burn into nothingness. The place where the strange bird passed through, the lush forest that was there before, instantly turned into ashes. Even some 4th-level spirit beasts are exposed to the flames. They will still have no bones. Xue Ningxiang slowly opened her eyes, but everything in front of her surprised her. Why was the previously lush tree now turned into black charcoal? Could it have been caused by the battle with the 7 elders? Thinking of this, she hurriedly looked around and looked for Zhuo Fan them, but she saw that they also passed out. Moreover, Zhuo Fan's situation was even more critical. A blood was dripping under him, and the blood was still pouring out of his mouth. Brother Zhuo, you wake up, wake up. Zhuo Fan moved his lips, but was completely speechless, barely raising an arm and pointing to the distance. But soon, he fell weakly again. Xue Ningxiang looked in the direction he pointed, but saw that the blood infant was lying on the ground in a languishing manner. Around it, there is also a pool of blood. You asked me to bring it over. Zhuo Fan didn't have the strength to answer, just blinked slightly. So Xue Ningxiang immediately understood and quickly brought the blood baby to Zhuo Fan, and put it on his chest as his eyes showed. Suddenly, the red blood of the languishing blood baby flashed, disappeared instantly, and entered Zhuo Fan's body. Blood, Zhuo Fan murmured hoarsely, thinking for a moment, and immediately took out a dagger and stroked it on his wrist. Then she immediately put her wrist to Zhuo Fan's mouth. Suddenly, Zhuo Fan raised his head violently, suddenly bit her wrist and sucked desperately. Xue Ningxiang felt a pain in her wrist, but she insisted on clenching her teeth so that Zhuo Fan could fully absorb it. Thank you. Zhuo Fan finally got the strength to speak after being nourished by these blood. Xue Ningxiang saw it and couldn't help smiling. Although she looks pale and weak now, this smile is so beautiful to Zhuo Fan. Thinking of his previous practice, he felt a little guilt in his heart. The thought moved in my heart. A stream of light flashed in Zhuo Fan's hand. Ninga, this is Sanpin Huxin pill. You feed me one, you eat one yourself, and then you go to see if the kid is dead. If not, give him one. Then she went to check Xie Tianyang's injury and saw that he was not dead. He woke up and turned around. He couldn't help being overjoyed and immediately fed him one. Although Zhuo Fan was lying still, everything in his heart was clear. Ninga, you are also injured, why not eat? All I have suffered is a minor injury, it doesn't bother me. This 3-pin elixir is quite expensive, let me leave it to you. There is nothing precious, even if Qianlong personally gives it, you still have to eat it. Ninga, you eat it, he owes you. Ninga, you don't know yet. Your big brother Zhuo will sacrifice you from the beginning, take you as a bait. He's a bear-like one now, and is considered self-serving. When Zhuo Fan said his plan, Xuaningxiang had already passed out in a thunderstorm, not at all clear. Hearing now, she couldn't help but look at Zhuo Fan. Zhuo Fan was only silent. For the first time, his two indifferent eyes dared not meet her. Ninga, Okay, you don't need to say anything. I know Brother Zhuo has both wisdom and courage, and he has his own plans for everything. This must be a misunderstanding. After finishing, Xuaningxiang suddenly turned her head and ran to the distance. I'll pick up some branches and make 2 shelves for you. This is not a long-term place. Hey, Ninga, you just let him go? He is seriously injured now, he can't move. What do you want revenge will do? Shut up. If you want to die, I will do you now. You are heavier than me. I'm not afraid of you. Although he was not afraid in his words, he was still afraid. Because he has heard Zhuo Fan's words, the naked killing intention. After seeing Zhuo Fan playing against the 7 elders in the Nether Valley, he finally knew Zhuo Fan's terrible. Although they lost in this battle, they were able to force the 7 witches who made all the elders of the 7 families have a headache. He hates Zhuo Fan now, but also fears. A thunder exploded. Xuaningxiang tied 2 shelves with rattan and dragged on the muddy rain road. Even though the heavy rain had wet her all over, the bumpy mountain road caused her to have fallen frequently because of the excessive blood loss and the weak. But she didn't care. Just like a robot, she climbed up and continued to drag forward. At the beginning, Xuaningxiang was the weakest. Xie Tianyang proposed to leave her behind and let her die. Zhuo Fan went even further and said that he would not give up, and made a gesture of boring Yun Tian, but in fact betrayed the little girl as bait. But now, the 2 of them are seriously injured. I am afraid they will be a waste in a few months. But Xuaningxiang really did not abandon or give up. A mountain rat suddenly burrowed out of the mound and ran to Xuaningxiang. Back to Xuaningxiang, the little guy was also very happy. He turned around under Xuaningxiang's feet and suddenly ran in one direction. Seeing this, Xuaningxiang knew that it was going to lead her, and immediately pulled Zhuo Fan and Xie Tianyang towards it. With a look of joy on his face, Xuaningxiang looked back at the 2 and immediately pulled them into the cave. This time, they finally have a place where they can heal the rain. But Zhuo Fan looked around, but his face changed. You can't stay here, let's go. Xuaningxiang froze, looking at Zhuo Fan puzzled. His eyes were staring straight at the purple weeds scattered all over the cave, and he said lightly, you see there, all are jiao grass. Jiao grass can relieve fatigue. It's good. Is there anything wrong? This is for human beings, but for spirit beasts, this anxiety grass has an anesthetic effect and will attract the spirit beasts around here. You mean, this is a trap, and this is a trap laid by the predator between the spirit beasts. The mountain rat was attracted and brought us too. You little thing is at a critical juncture. You can run through the hole yourself, but we are also involved. What use does I want you to have? Xie Tianyang gritted his teeth and sent all his anger to the little thing. Xuaningxiang couldn't bear it, while holding it in his arms to appease, hesitating for a while, then said to Zhuo Fan, so what shall we do now? What time is it now? I don't know clearly. It should have been a day. The medicine effect of Yin Shi Dan has passed. I am afraid that the animals have been discovered as soon as we entered. Now, it is estimated that they are rushing here in batches. Xie Tianyang was shocked and almost dropped his chin. You said, in batches? As for all-powerful spirit beasts, they don't bother to engage in such tricks. Only low-level spirit beasts will lay such traps, and most of them are gregarious actions. The beasts roared loudly, screaming. In general, there are thousands of pairs. Bloodthirsty wolves. It's over, although the bloodthirsty residual wolf is a 2nd-level spirit beast, but the number is large, and the wolf king is a 3rd-level spirit beast. Even if they encounter them, even the 4th-level spirit beast dare not easily provoke. Even if they encounter them, even the 4th-level spirit beast dare not easily provoke. Xie Tianyang's arrogant, would actually die in such a place. It was really jealous. Xuaningxiang is also sad, but Zhuo Fan is still calm. Xie Tianyang, you take the sword out and give it to Ninga. Even if my Yaoxing sword is a 4th-grade spirit soldier, but Ninga only has the strength to gather energy and 4 levels, but she can't beat those gangsters. She is not you, just gathering strength, but strength and forging bones. Tianqian masters are shoulder to shoulder, strong like monsters. Ninga didn't need to fight hard to get the sword, as long as he could break through. Ninga, you take this bottle of hidden pill. When you break through the encirclement, rely on it to leave the 10,000 Beast Mountains, but don't go home again, just go out of the city. Hearing this, Xie Tianyang looked startled, and then he understood Zhuo Fan's meaning. Both of them owe too much to Ninga. Now that they are in a mortal situation, there is really no need to drag her down. Thinking of this, he also thought about it, and took out the sipping Lingbing Yaoxing sword, which had always been inseparable. Xueningsiang pondered for a while, and rushed toward the hole with the golden sword. In this way, our kindness can also be paid off. Even if it is dead, it can be irrelevant. Xie Tianyang twitched his mouth and muttered, I don't care about feelings. Even if I die now, I still feel unwilling. However, I just don't want the girl to do anything for me, that's all. Ruthless and merciless. At this moment, a wailing suddenly sounded, and a splash of blood splashed onto their faces. The two couldn't help but look forward hurriedly, but at this moment, Xueningsiang was standing by the sword in the hole. Ninga, what are you doing? Xueningsiang swung the golden sword with a clatter. Another golden light flashed over and killed the 3 hungry wolves under the sword. Turned around and looked at Xuefan's 2 people, showing a bright smile. Look, as long as I am here, they will not be able to enter. Fool, those who rushed up are cannon fodder, and the Wolf King will never care about their life and death. But you will be dragged to death by them. Xueningsiang grinned and shook his head carelessly. That Wolf King is just a beast and cannot care about the lives of its subordinates. But you are the first and second since I was born and the most important friend. I will not give up yours. With that, Xueningsiang waved the golden sword again and beheaded the 2 hungry wolves who rushed up. Her face is now quite pale, and she is swaying in the wind, and she will fall down even the next moment. But her eyes were very firm, without fear. Looking deeply at the petite body, Xuefan's eyes flickered, and there seemed to be a warm warmth swirling in his eyes. Suddenly closed his eyes. Xuefan didn't want to see the scene in front again, took a deep breath, and his heart seemed to be bleeding again. I only found out now that the 2 of us were bastards. Suddenly, with a scream, Xueningsiang was struggling with strength, and an inattentive bite was bitten by the arm holding the golden sword by a hungry wolf and threw her down. Then, another wolf pounced up, biting her other hand. She wanted to fight back, but she couldn't get up anymore. Xuefan and Xie Tianyang had already guessed that this would be the result, but they still closed their eyes and did not visit her, because they don't want to see this girl being eaten by wolves. A wolf king 3 times larger than the other wolves walked slowly in front of Xueningsiang, revealing a bloodthirsty light. After licking the 2 fangs in front of his mouth, the wolf king roared loudly, and opened the big mouth of the blood. Suddenly, a tremendous roar came from the depths of the 10,000 Beast Mountains, and those bloodthirsty residual wolves, their eyes shrank, and they suddenly lost consciousness, and thousands of wolves fell down in a big swoop. Only the Wolf King was shaking his body constantly, his eyes glowing with fear. But before waiting for it to run away, a cyan flame turned into a straight line and swept across the area in an instant. All the bloodthirsty residual wolf, after passing through the firelight, all turned into nothingness. But I do not know whether it was intentional or unintentional. Xuefan 3 survived completely under this fire. Just 3 people, still sleeping. Xuefan. In the dim, Xuefan seemed to hear someone calling his name. This is a foggy place, I don't know where it is. But soon, he realized that he was not seriously injured. How am I able to walk? Suddenly, 2 blue flames ignited. Xuefan suddenly turned to look there, only to see a figure in a blue robe standing between 2 firelights, and his blue robe seemed to be burning a blue flame. Are you calling Xuefan? I heard those 2 little guys calling you so. Who are you? You don't need to know. This is my place. Only I ask you, Xuefan, what are you doing here in the Beast Mountains? Catch the spirit beast. Refine the monster. What spirit beast? Level 6 spirit beast. Thunder Skylark. What do you want it to do? What else can the spirit beast do? Of course, to improve its strength. Suddenly, a loud noise rang out, and Xuefan suddenly felt his head roar, exploding. At that moment, the man laughed loudly. Little guy, this is your space of consciousness. If you lie, I can easily detect it. This person was able to invade the consciousness space of others based on consciousness. Such strength has already gone beyond the scope of God's vision. Even, it has already surpassed the ordinary order. You are the Holy Land. Xuefan took a deep breath and was surprised.